Welcome everyone to the KTAL News Now Digital Streaming Center. I'm Brittany DeFran, and the U.S. Olympic swimming trials were completed over the weekend. Some big names making the Team USA roster are Katie Ledecky and Caleb Dressel. YMCA swim coach Eddie Adams has experience coaching at this elite level. He joins me today to talk about the level of dedication it takes to compete at the Olympic Games. Hi, Coach Eddie. Today.
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good, and I'm so excited to have this conversation today. It's definitely a good one. You know, you bring the expertise and knowledge in regards to coaching at this level for athletes to compete at this level, but also we bring a unique experience. Also joining us today for the conversation, Camille Adams, Coach Adams' daughter. She has competed and earned her spot on the 2012 London and 2016 Rio Games for Team USA. Hi, Camille. How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me.
Of course, I'm so excited to have this conversation, to have you both on. And it's so fun to have both perspectives, right? From the athlete to the coach. And then also you guys have such a beautiful relationship being father-daughter, of course. So let's just jump right in with Coach Eddie. Tell me a little bit about, what was the experience of training swimmers at this level to compete at such a high level and such a great competition?
Well, it's such a wonderful journey. I mean, having raising an Olympian. I mean, it was great all the way through. Camille had a wonderful journey. She started off competitively when she was 4. We knew pretty soon that she was going to be good, competing at the state level, winning some state level competitions, and I think it was 12 when she made her first junior team. And was told by many coaches at that level that she was probably she was going to be a good one. So it was fun watching her journey through all the things that we go through on that level.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's a lot, which is so exciting. To be able to train together as well, I feel like is such a unique and fun experience. So Camille, when you look back, I was curious to hear a little bit about you, like your mindset, especially, you went through the Olympic trials. What's your mindset heading into those, the months leading up to that competition?
Yeah, so most of the time people only see swimming on TV once every 4 years, but there's a lot that swimmers do on the back end and leading up to those 4 years to prepare for the trials. And, for me to have someone like my dad that just has so much experience in the sport, it was just an absolute dream to be able to have him go to trials with me. And then also him and the rest of my family went to London and then also Rio. And just to be able to have that support system is just so important. It's, probably one of the most stressful, but also like rewarding times in your life. And so just having those people there to root you on just meant the absolute world.
That is amazing. I love that. I see you rocking the USA merch right now. That's awesome. And so you talk about, just being proud of being a part of that moment and having your family there. We talk about your mindset leading up to those days, but also what are the hours, that you have to put in training for the months leading up to that competition as well?
Yeah, everybody does things a little bit differently. So I was a tuner and butterflyer for Team USA, so definitely more on the distance side of things, which I'm sure my dad loves. My parents are bang for your buck type of people, I always say. So my parents, you pay the same amount if you swim the 50 freestyle or you swim the mile. So they always wanted us to swim the distance stuff. So with that, you're going to train a little bit more, be in the water a little bit longer hours. There's also a dry land component that goes to it, massage, chiropractic work, but also the mental side of things, like seeking a therapist and making sure that your mental health is also, a very big part of the journey as well. So it's definitely lots of different things, lots of time, especially after I graduated from Texas A&M. I had the opportunity to swim professionally for about 18 years leading into the Rio Games. And it was my full time job. So it was all I was doing was eat, sleep, and swimming, truly.
Wow, that is amazing. I can assume it encompasses everything in your life. Eat, sleep, train right there. That's amazing. And then, for you, Coach Eddie, you've seen it firsthand from Camille, but you've also mentioned that you've trained other swimmers to the Olympic trials at least. What level of dedication have you seen from those athletes to earn them that spot and reach that level of success?
Well, About 3% of the 450 to 500,000 swimmers make that initial push to the trials. So, and then even less than that to make the games itself. So, it does take a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of goal setting. It takes a lot of, like Camilla said, many times, support from the family, support from the community, support from just all structures of your well-being.
Absolutely, yeah. You can definitely see it. Especially very exciting to watch the Olympic Games and talking a little bit, or the trials at least, and talking a little bit about that. I just wanted to kind of ask either of you here this question. I know we talked about some of those big names that have made it to the roster. Were there any exciting names that you guys were just happy to see? Any fan favorites for you guys?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I mean, obviously I love the Turner Butterflyers. So Reagan Smith's someone that I've followed for a long time now and haven't had the opportunity to meet her. So I'm really thrilled to watch her. But I think just in general, I love watching, the family stories and learning a little bit about like, what the athlete is into and watching their families and some of the backstories. So I think that's the part that I'm most excited about. Obviously, I love Caleb Dressel. He's just like one of the most good guys, like such a good role model for young kids. So obviously I'm really excited for him and his family too.
Absolutely. What about you, Coach Eddie? Any favorites this year?
We have I think this is one of the better teams we've put together. Indianapolis just did a wonderful job. No one ever thought that Omaha would be outdone, but I do believe Indianapolis I didn't get to go this time, but it was the first one we've missed in a while. But the Indianapolis show was just amazing, and we set records. I think 2 or 3 of the nights with over 22 to 24,000 people in a football stadium. You say, how do you do a swimming pool in a football stadium? Well, it was great to watch them put the pools together and all the background stuff that they had to do. But I think this time we've got a great staff and the swimmers themselves, and it's good to see the leaders that we've got, and yet we've got a good group of young kids coming in. So I see a lot of future, with the 17-year-olds that we had, both on the men and women's side. And again, and I've heard Caleb and more of them say, the trials themselves are more times than any. More pressure than the Olympics themselves, because we're such a fantastic swimming country that only 2 get to go. Well, 2 in most events got to go. So.
No, I love it. I love all those talking points right there. Really paints a unique perspective on how competitive it is here in the States for swimming. But also you made a funny mention in regards to how could they have possibly put swimming trials there in a football field. I actually watched a time-lapse video of them putting together, and I was actually in awe as well. I was like, I couldn't believe them building a pool from scratch. It was awesome to see. And then so talking a little bit about what you both are working on now after all the experience that you've had, either competing or coaching, training at that level. Camille, I know that you are the proud owner now of a swim school in Rockwall, Texas. So I was just curious to ask you, do you look to maybe follow in your dad's footsteps and maybe train some Olympic athletes in the future?
Yeah, I'm actually here in Houston, so I've got swim schools all over the Houston area, and I get asked that question a lot. Like, don't you want to, you miss being on a pool deck and the competitive atmosphere? And I actually don't. I have no desire to coach. I let my dad and my sister do a lot more of that, and I really, truly do love the littles. They've always been my people. So one of our taglines is from bubbles to butterfly, and it really could not be more perfect for me. So just inspiring the next generation to just learn the life skill of swimming first. And then, obviously it's my hope and dream that they do make a sport out of it someday. And hopefully I get to cheer one of them on to make Team USA someday. But I really, really love being a part of our sport, truly at the ground level, and teaching just kids the life skill of swimming.
I love it. That's so sweet. Just creating a safe space around swimming and sticking to that. That's amazing. So now turning over to you, Coach Eddie. Tell me a little bit about, your newly the new coach at the Y, you said a little bit over 2 months. So tell me a little bit about just, the training that you're able to provide there. And if there's any kiddos here, maybe watching the games this year, watching the Paris games, maybe they're inspired to compete at that level, how could they begin that journey at the Y?
Well, the YMCA is a fantastic facility. I mean, I've hit 2 or 3 facilities in Louisiana, and I haven't seen anything capable of coming to match with what the YMCA has. I mean, it's an indoor 50-meter pool. We've got air quality, second to none, constant 80 to 81 degree water, which we chill it down or cool it off a little bit for meets down to 78 to 79. We have just, it's amazing the forethought that Gary and the crew did on putting this thing together. The weightlifting, the physical therapists, the trainers, the yoga instructors. We've got everything that it needs for the quality athlete. And it's only seen just a couple meets here so far on the club level here in Louisiana. In Shreveport, we've got a good group of kids here in Shreveport that, I'm not saying that that's going to happen tomorrow, but their futures look very, very bright in this area.
Maybe not competing for the Olympics tomorrow, but you do have some meets coming up, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
It starts on the ground level, and the YMCA, we've got a wonderful, probably not to the level Camille's schools are, but we've got a wonderful Learn to Swim program, which feeds right into our, this year we started the Y Listen to Me, and we went with a summer league program. We're up to about 40 plus kids this summer. We didn't have any last year, so we've got 40, and they were excited. I went to all the meets so far. They've been in local area at some of the local pools. Tomorrow starts our 10 and under city meet, and I have not seen total numbers, but there's normally 400 to 500 swimmers in these meets. Tomorrow will be 10 and under, and then Thursday will be the 11 and over. So again, it's going to be a lot of competition going on at Southside Pool.
That's amazing. That's so exciting. Well, I just want to say thank you both so much for joining me today for the conversation. It's really been a fun one. I feel like the Olympic Games are always just a fun time, and just watching the trials, watching these young athletes make it to accomplish their dreams that they've been dreamt of since they were kids. And even Camille, you mentioned it, just the stories behind it, right, of these athletes, because it's just they're more than just athletes. They're people, they have families, and it's just so exciting to hear those stories. So I've been honored to hear your story today, and I appreciate you guys so much for that.
Thank you guys so much, Brittany.
Yes, thank you so much for having us on, and go Team USA.
Yeah, go Team USA, y'all. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And you can catch more details right here on KTALnews.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.
Thank y'all. Bye, y'all.